Hello, everyone. It's Charlton. Please subscribe to my channel. Tap the notification bell. I'd appreciate it majorly. So there were four plane crashes, or three plane crashes and one helicopter that crashed over the weekend. With several fatalities. Just about everybody in each crash died, except there was one survivor in the plane crash in Indiana, Kokomo, Indiana. So there was two on Sunday and two on Saturday. Indiana, Texas, Michigan, and Illinois. So I think the two on Sunday were Texas and Indiana. Kokomo is about 60 miles north of Indianapolis. There's I think a small airport there. I forget the name of it. I'll get to it in a second. And then in Texas, a plane was taking off from actually this resort, which I just sort of found a little bit unusual. Horseshoe Bay Resort. It was going from Horseshoe Bay Resort to Natchitoches. I'm pronouncing that wrong. Louisiana. Horseshoe Bay Resort is, I think it's west of Austin by a bit, and about 130 miles northeast of Austin is where it attempted to do an emergency landing at Hilltop Lakes Airport, something like that, and it failed, and all four passengers, two couples, were killed. They were flying to. I'm sort of jumping all over the place, but forgive me. There's two different. There's four different crashes to sort of talk about. And I'm not going to talk about any one of them at length, but the one that flew out of Texas from Horseshoe Bay Resorts was flying to Natchitoches. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong. Regional airport, which is north of Lake Charles, Louisiana, by about 80, 100 miles or so. And the plane was registered to a corporation in Lafayette. I don't know what corporation that was. These planes typically have almost like a license plate number or some kind of identification number, but that wasn't provided anywhere, and I didn't look that extensively. Like I said, it's four different stories to kind of tell you about. It's so unusual, four different fatal crashes over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. But this one had four persons that were killed. And like I was saying, I don't know where that Horseshoe Bay Resorts is located exactly. I know it's west of Austin. So, here's Austin here. It's somewhere over here, and it was heading in this direction towards Louisiana. And it attempted to make an emergency landing at Hilltop Lakes and failed and crashed into the ground. One witness on the ground who seemed to have a knowledge of flying described how it went down, that it was flying very low, that it banked left and then banked right. It seemed to overcompensate when it banked left, then banked right, then banked once more left, and then at that point it was almost completely vertical, in a vertical nosedive straight into the ground. And I assume that all four passengers were killed instantly. And it says it took off from Horseshoe Bay Resorts. That's what the report said. And just looking a little bit further, they have their own airstrip, because I just looked up, doesn't have its own airstrip, and it does, which I never heard of before, but apparently some resorts do for very exclusive type of resorts, I guess. I don't know. It seems pretty weird to me, but it does. And I don't really need to go into that much further. So the other crash, and none of those identities were revealed. Not sure why that is. They didn't really say. In the Kokomo, Indiana crash, they're waiting pending notification of family. Maybe the same thing in the Texas crash. There were four passengers. We don't know the ages of the passengers. If they're all adults or some kids on the plane. And it was at Glenndale Airport, which is just outside of Kokomo. And there was some kind of event going on that weekend, that day, Sunday. The Glenndale Airport BBQ, or Glenndale Days BBQ Bash, was an event at the airport with food, rides, and bouncy house for kids and airplane rides. Was scheduled to start at the airport Sunday morning. According to Facebook posts, it's not clear if the plane crash is connected to that event. And airplane rides is one of the things that they were going to be providing, obviously, is at the airport, and it's an event for kids. So hopefully there wasn't any children on that plane, but it wouldn't shock me if there was. And this happened around 11:30 a.m. So I assume that the event was just getting started, or was just about to get started, or already had started. So 3 people were killed and 1 person was injured. 1 person survived this crash in a plane crash Sunday morning just southwest of Kokomo. The plane crash was reported around 11:30 a.m. near Glenndale Airport. The Kokomo plane that crashed was a PA-32, I believe, which is what this is right there, and a Piper PA-32, excuse me. The Texas plane was a Piper PA-46, which is right there, and or a similar model, probably different year. And there's some footage of each. Let me quickly go to. This is the Indiana, the Kokomo plane, the one where at Glenndale Airport. And somebody who had just witnessed it crash, and this is basically the plane on fire, burning after it had crashed. But there's 1 survivor in there. I mean, we don't know his condition, his or her condition. We don't know if that's a child or an adult. So,
Randy, do you remember when that plane hit the fence there years ago?
Yeah, same thing. His wheels caught the very top of the fence.
Is it
and
really? God, I'm glad it didn't get you, Randy.
No, I seen them coming in, and they were getting close, and I was mowing Tyler's backyard, and I spun around and was heading north doing my laps, and as soon as I spun around, I heard the boom, and it was just a fireball.
So, and the third crash, I'm just going to keep moving along here. Otherwise, it just will take too long. It's just highly unusual, so I'm just quickly going through. I mean, it's USA Today that's, reporting on this. And the NTSB is investigating all 4 crashes naturally. In each case, I mean, they've tweeted on all 4 of them. I don't know that they normally, this is not something that happens pretty frequently, where they have 4 tweets in a row, basically 2 fatal crashes one day, 2 fatal crashes the next day. And this starts on September 19th. This is the Michigan one. And again, September 19th, Illinois, September 20th, Texas, September 20th, Kokomo, Indiana. But they're investigating all 4. In each case, it says the NTSB is not traveling to the scene of the crash at this time. None of them. There was some footage right there. That's just, but it's just the response after, and this is pretty much after everything had calmed down. I believe that they had realized there's 4 people that have been killed. There's no EMTs even there at this point. I think they had left the scene by the time news cameras had got there, and that's just,
near Marbles at 10 a.m. and was headed to Natchitoches, Louisiana Regional Airport.
So, thirdly, the third crash was in Michigan, and it was west of Detroit by, I forget exactly how many miles. In that case, it's two people were killed, 61 and 59, Dale DeWeese and Joyce DeWeese, and obviously their identities were revealed. The occupants of a two-seat small-engine airplane died in the crash in Michigan that happened shortly after takeoff, according to Ottawa County Sheriff's Office. The crash happened just after 6:30 a.m. This is Saturday, so early morning Saturday, and the plane was found northeast of the runway at the Ottawa Executive Airport. It's roughly 160 miles west of Detroit, and that airplane there, it's a Byerly RV-9A, which is basically like that right there, and that's the individual's Facebook page right there, and I'm certain that that's the plane. That he has on his banner of his own Facebook page. That's Dale DeWeese and his wife, Joyce, who were both killed in that crash. And the last was a helicopter that they thought was a couple on the helicopter. It turned out it was just piloted by one person. That's it, and that person also died. Later Saturday, the pilot of a helicopter was killed in a crash. The Illinois State Police said in a statement to USA Today. The ISP responded to a call at around 2:20 p.m. in Red Bud, roughly 130 miles south of the city's capital, Springfield. Once ISP arrived, it was determined the crash resulted in the death of the sole male occupant. And that's pretty much the extent of that. It's pretty unusual, though, and that's the story there, man. That is the story there. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below. I'll see you in the next video. Later, man.